Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. We have a sad update for our city of something that occurred last night. We had a family that was leaving Isotope Stadium. As they were leaving Isotope Stadium, there was some type of altercation reference traffic and possibly in the individuals making a improper U-turn. And this led to incident that we believe is road rage related. As the vehicle was traveling just past the intersection of Avenida Cesar Chavez and University. We had a vehicle pull up next to it, fire 17 shots into the vehicle. The vehicle sustained 14 impacts. But most disheartening is 11-year-old child was in the front seat of the vehicle and lost their lives last night. We had a relative of this child also struck, is in critical condition at U local hospital right now. And we are currently looking for a vehicle, but we will be releasing that vehicle information a little bit later today. We're still trying to verify some information, and our detectives are trying to get and ensure that everything we have is accurate, and we will be releasing as much as we can sometime today on this vehicle. We're asking for the public's help in this. Once we release the vehicle information, somebody has seen something, somebody knows something, and we ask that you contact law enforcement and you let us know. For the family, our condolences. I spoke to Commander Vega last night with Violent Crimes. We do have one of our best homicide teams on this incident, and time and time again, our homicide teams have proven that they're able to get justice for families, and I am hopeful that they will able to bring justice to this family this morning. For the individuals involved in this, this is the second time that we have somebody carelessly shooting into a structure or a vehicle. A couple weeks ago, we had a 5-year-old child killed. Last night, we had an 11-year-old. To the tough person who thought they were, tough person firing shots at a vehicle, well, you could live with yourself. You just killed an 11-year-old trying to show how tough you were. This is very disheartening, like I stated, and our detectives will do everything they can to find these individuals and bring them to justice and ensure that the family gets this case heard in the courts. Gilbert? Mayor?
Well, thank you, Chief. I think it's worth a moment of thinking about what this means for our families and for our community. The idea that a family, just like all of our families, or just like mine, I have a 10-year-old daughter, that we can be at an Isotopes game, going to and from, perhaps leaving early because we have young kids, cutting someone off maybe because we were adjusting a car seat or something like that in the background, and then to lose that life all over that. This is a nightmare experience for that family, and I think in many ways for our city. This is the kind of thing that should never, ever, ever happen in America or in New Mexico or in Albuquerque or anywhere else. I know we're heartbroken for the loss of life, and we feel the senseless act of violence here is also, I think, it is extremely angering. The people who did this have no idea what the consequences are of their actions. And I know this, APD will make sure they know those consequences. And they should turn themselves in. That is the only right answer here. And we're going to be releasing information. We need the public to help us with this if they won't. And we are going to bring justice to this situation. And they are going to be an example of how this should never happen. Now, we don't know all the backstory. We don't know exactly where the guns came from and who the perpetrators are and what their background is, but all of that's going to come out. And I hope that whether it's in a legislative session or whether it's in a city council session going forward, we also have to understand that guns are awash in our community, and they're being used on 11-year-olds. They're being used on 5-year-olds. This is the 5th example of road rage killing someone in our city this year. This is absolutely, absolutely unconscionable. And it is something, we had police all around this area. So before anyone says, how close were the police, where were the police, they were right there. They were doing traffic duty, of course. So this is about us. This is not about the police department. This is about who we are as a country and who we are as a community, and it's unacceptable. So while our prayers are with their family, especially recovering, there is no recovery from this for them, ever. But I know that we are going to bring justice to this situation. We are not going to let this go, and we are going to remind people of it every single time we have those arguments and those discussions about what it takes to keep our community safe. So with that, I want to reiterate, we're going to be releasing the specific details because we want to get them as narrow as possible so that people can make those calls and help us ID the vehicles. That's why we're not sharing it right now. But I want to let everyone know we need your help to call Crime Stoppers, 505-843-STOP. If you were there last night, if you have any details and saw this, and as soon as we release the specifics on the vehicle, we need your help to look for it. Thank you.
You know, I'm going to close with real quick. When we release the vehicle information, there is more than likely individuals out in the community who knows the people who drives this type of car and the type of behavior that they're involved in. All we need you to do is point us in the right direction, and our detectives will pick up the ball from there, and they will get this across the goal line and ensure that there is justice for this family. So we're asking the community that once this vehicle's information is released, please take a look at it. Think of the people around your circle of life. Think about those individuals who are doing wrong, and think about your family and what you would want somebody to be brave about and step up and give that information to law enforcement. Thank you.
The mayor mentioned this is the fifth road rage shooting homicide that APD has investigated. There's one justifiable and 4, including one, I think, just last week. So we'll be releasing more information on that one as well. With that, any questions?
Just along the lines of this volume of road rage incidents we're seeing, are you taking any changes to your approach in how you address road rage?
There is a lot of things that we've done. We recognize that the road rage incident is a lot of issues, which includes driver's behavior. The Albuquerque Police Department, when I took over as chief in 2020, we had issued about 24,000 traffic citations that year. This year, we're on pace to hit 85,000 traffic citations. Our traffic enforcement has been stepped up through the roof over the past several years, almost tripled, almost quadrupled. So we will continue to push forward and ensure that we are changing drivers' behaviors, but it's not just the drivers. The amount of firearms in this community and the amount of lack of understanding of consequences of what your actions are is the biggest thing that we need the community to understand. The simple fact that you would get cut off and fire 17 rounds at a car that you don't know who is in is just completely unacceptable. And individuals who have that mindset have no other place in this community but jail. And I will clearly say, I don't care how old these individuals are in the end. I don't care how young they are. They deserve to stay in jail until their case is heard, and then they deserve adult consequences for what they have done. Yes.
Do we know what kind of gun was used?
We don't know yet. We don't have that information yet. We did recover shell casings. We are not running the shell casings immediately into NIBINs because we're asking ATF for assistance in running them through DNA. So we're going to see if we could recover DNA from the shell casings, and then after that we'll put them into the NIBIN system.
You say how the boy and the woman who were shot were related?
I believe the boy and the woman were nephew aunt, but I'm not positive. Yes.
Could there be multiple suspects charged in this?
There could be multiple. We have to find out and figure out how many people were in the car. I would be shocked if it was just one single individual in the car.
So to clarify, was it the victim and the family that might have made that improper U-turn?
It may have been them that made the improper U-turn. But let's be realistic. Every time you're at some type of sporting event, there's a mass crowd somewhere and people are looking to get out. How many people have make traffic violations? I will tell you for myself, I have made those traffic violations in my lifetime.
And can I ask about the police response? I know in your video yesterday you mentioned that you were there in 2 minutes. There's a new substation in that area and police were out doing traffic control. Can I ask about, again, the response to this? And for folks that might be wondering, well, how did this car that was shooting at another one get away when there was so much police presence there?
You know, all the police presence was behind the incident, so to speak. They had already passed where officers were posted. We had officers inside the substation, which is still just a block away, but a block away. Officers did hear shots. They didn't know where the shots were coming from. And then it's moments later that they were notified that there had been a shooting down the street from both groups of officers. And they responded and they found this. Quite frankly, the vehicle had a straight shot to the freeway or to out of the area, and there were no officers stationed in the exit route. Anything else?
We aren't going to release the name of the victim just yet. The family is devastated, as you can imagine, so we're going to hold off just a little bit on releasing that name.
All right, thank you.